Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another episode. You're here with me, Sarit and Stevie K.
Hey guys!
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking again about marriage because we've had loads of people who are just coming back and forth to us asking so many different questions. And one of them is...
Basically, obviously, we've been together now. It's going to be 26 years. So next year, we're going to be, we've been married for 25.
26 years.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you've been married for 26 years?
Yeah.
It,
Yeah. God,
I'm being... With your jokes,
some days
man.
it feels longer, to be
Stop
honest.
with your jokes. I'm being serious.
but-
Does it feel like you have?
I don't know.
26.
No. You get less for murder?
That's just something that all guys say. Like, is there any better dollar you could come up with?
No, because you get less for murder. Yeah. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking. Basically, what we're going to talk about is, after the initial marriage and obviously honeymoon phase, many people say, obviously, the spark fizzles, relationships get boring, marriage gets boring, your partner gets boring, life gets boring. Yeah, you get the gist. So many people asking us because we jump on TikTok lives. We've been doing work now on our YouTube for the past 4 years. So we work together. We do everything together.
I have had some crazy ass emails of people asking these questions, and it's in different ways they're asking it, but it is the gist of it all. Like, how do you keep your spark alive? Or, God, you guys...
Or is it still alive? Because it looks like it.
We've got
Or
kids and we just barely get any time together, and when I do and really don't, I'm not in the mood and all this kind of stuff. So I get loads of these messages. And how do you guys deal with that? And what do you do? Can you give us some advice? But first of all, when
from women and men.
Yeah. Would you say we had a spark for, like, they say honeymoon period? What exactly is a honeymoon period? How long is a honeymoon period?
I think it's different for different people. I think it depends on your circumstances. Because some people obviously get married and they have all these plans that they want, like getting a house, moving, and so everything still seems exciting because you're doing things together, new things together.
Yeah, I asked. You know what I asked that for? I think for us, everything was just quick anyway. But like, I'm asking how long, because you think it'd be like 2 years, 3 years honeymoon period, and then finally you settle, you have your children, you move home, whatever. But like, when I look at our children, like for instance, the youngest, when she comes home and she talks about her relationship, I feel like, Jesus, you guys are like, it looks like you've been married for like 10 years, the way you guys behave, and they've been together. Okay, they've been together long enough, but they've just moved in together, and before that they were studying. So like, to me, it's like, how long is it? Because you see, it is different for everyone.
I think also there's a difference between dating, because people could date for about 5-6 years, to actually being married. Because even then, it's like some people be together for ages and whatever it might be. I do think that there's a difference in the sense that when you're only dating.
Wouldn't it be that anyway? The honeymoon period, even when you're together. When you're together, dating,
I think circumstances change because
after marriage, if you've been together already for ages, after marriage, it's the same thing you had.
Not really, because when you're dating, it's just two of you. You're dating each other. Yeah, you might know each other's parents or seen them here or there, but that doesn't influence your relationship. It doesn't influence your life. Okay. You basically it's you two and everyone else is external. So you two are together and you might go and see their parents or see their parents and hi there or whatever. But when you're married, remember, you're in each other's relationship. Those people also have that importance. They're part of your life. Now, when you make those choices and decisions, you make it with the consideration of everyone else as well, most of the time. They're part of your life now. Yeah. So I think it makes a big difference because now you're restarting. That's what I feel. I feel like now you're restarting from a different stage. But that's when You know, the honeymoon period, it's a different excitement. Look, we got married now. Like before, we were dating, the circumstances were different. You might not be paying certain bills or thinking so much about future. You just make sure your relationship's good. But now that you're married, it's like a further commitment. Now where we're going, what we're doing, where we're living, what are the plans? Are we getting a pet? Are we having kids? You know, when's your mum coming over? Are we cooking a roast or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's that before that, you don't have to think those things. If you, as a person, if me and you were dating and my mum was popping over or your mum was popping over and I said, look, I'm going to pop out, they're not going to find it rude or offensive because I've popped out. But if I was married and then I'm not there, then it's like, is it avoiding us?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, and I know it's the initial spark that we're talking about, but I just think you have the spark when you're dating, but then there's another spark, I believe, when you get married. It's a different feeling. Oh my God, we're actually together. We actually are genuinely, you know, there's the two of us.
Yeah, maybe I say it because I don't think we actually had that at all.
What?
We had the spark, but we didn't, like, obviously everything was so rush. I want to know one from other people's experiences and stuff. How long is the spark, and is it that exactly after marriage? Because it was different for us. Yeah, we had the spark. Obviously, we got together. Everything was fun and exciting. But with how things were, our circumstances, it was like quick marriage and everything else. I don't know anyone else.
I think ours is totally different to what other people have. I think other people.
Not anyone has gone through what we've gone through.
I think other people also have the fact that they have the build up to the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, they have people who want to be a part of it. So they're more or less going, oh, we get married, or no, it's deciding. Are we getting married? Yes, we are. When we're going to get married? Where we're going to get married?
That's exciting and everything.
And
well,
all that, in a year's time. So the cards have got to be out there. Who's getting called? Who's going to be invited? Yeah. That in itself is excitement. Because you want everything to go right, but you want to make sure that, you know, you've got everything, your decisions are made. Ours was more or less like, you know, well, let's get married. Oh my God, wedding's tomorrow. it was like that. So there wasn't even any, you know, moment of savoring that joy, that excitement, that thing of anything. It was more or less go.
Everything was go. So often that's why I'm a bit curious, like, how long is that period, like honeymoon? Is it, for us, it was go. So I don't think we kind of felt it.
No, I just went from dating, marriage, and then that's it. Just get on with life. It was just, and then it was like, oh, I'm married now. We're still studying at that time. Got to find a job. I've just got married. I can't have my parents and everyone else supporting my wife. So didn't even think about, you know, at that moment I was just studying. Had an idea of what I wanted to do, but didn't have time to apply for those. It was more or less like any job available, just grab it. Because now I've got a wife to support because I've got married. And, you know, so it wasn't like, oh God, even that for me was... And so then all of a sudden you've like become responsible and you've become a couple and you're just trying to think of how do couples be? How do things be?
It's, It's crazy because, like, we've done lots of things throughout our marriage. It's been fun, exciting. We've done loads, and you know, we have had that spark. But obviously,
you kept on saying that. It sounds like, oh, we have that spark. Did you actually have that spark, or are you trying to convince yourself that you had the spark?
No, we had that spark, but it's always obviously because there's so much going on around. You know, obviously we've got kids as well, and so much, and you kind of give your all to them. But I feel like now, with us too, we're so much more in a better place, and I feel like we have more of a spark now than we have ever. We used to have it before, but it's like, it's weird, it's a different spark, but I feel like it's more of a closeness.
I think our relationships changed to how it was, but I still think that, you know, for us it was a strange one because we were still young. When we saw many people who were our age, who weren't married and stuff, they were still going out and about and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And we were, as a couple though.
Yeah.
Many people, once they get into a committed relationship or they get married, they tend to start doing things differently. This is what I'm trying to say. That, you know, like what you would have done as people dating, you don't tend to do that once you're married. Whereas we got married and we were still, we were dating after marriage. We were going out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know? And like our friends were all single. Yeah. But they were all coming, your friends, my friends, But me and you were still sort of dating, going out, like if it was like a group of friends going out.
Yeah, I think that was obviously because with me, I had never experienced that before. Obviously I've never done anything like that, and I didn't want to miss out on something like, it's the experience that you should have had anyway at those ages. People would have been gone off to uni, people would have been, studying and going to daytime as this, that, the other, but we did it together.
Daytime.
Yeah, there were daytimes.
Yeah,
I went to one daytime,
but
I got caught.
Finally took you to a night time.
The first daytime I went to, I walked in for 5 minutes and oh my God, and who turns up is my brother, and I was like, fuck me. I'll never forget that day, and I had to run into the toilets, and I was in the toilets forever, and kind of got out when he was on the dance floor probably, and that's it. Never did it again.
Should have gone to night timers then.
Never did it again. Exactly, but I couldn't do those kind of things. So I think I enjoyed that a lot with you. But it wasn't just, I think I enjoyed it with you, but we had a lot of other people around as friends and stuff. But then we started doing it ourselves. Like not long, we haven't gone out for a while properly now and gone like, either call it clubbing and stuff. We haven't done that in God, how many years would you say it's been?
Yeah.
It's been a good few years.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I enjoyed when we were doing it together as well. We did it, just us two.
But like you said, I mean, the thing that we were speaking about is obviously the spark after being married. Like we've been married for 25 years. Regardless of how long, I think for different people, it's different time period. Some people, if you were looking at the experts, some will tell you, relationship experts, some will say 6 months. Some will say some people have it for a year. Some people have it for 2 years. But sooner or later, it does fade unless you keep things moving. You've got things that you like to do together as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything has to be, the same. But like you said, for us, it was like, okay, we got married. Then we were more or less looking for jobs. From jobs, if at night time, and like I said, we were going out with our friends. We still sort of were dating, but we were quite young. And then we already started thinking about moving out, getting our own place. Then our first daughter came, then our second daughter came, then our third daughter came. And then it was like, finding a better job, but more responsibilities. And that's how our life sort of went. So our life got more, I was going to say the word lost, but our
Hectic?
It did get hectic, but I think that we got so involved in creating a family or a family life that our children became our priority and our centre of attention, which I'm sure every other couple or parent would feel the same.
Yeah.
So everything was, okay, my responsibility, I'm going to go to work, make some money, make sure that they've got the best that they can possibly have and best start to life. And you was more or less nurturing, taking care of them, spending so much time with them, taking them to school, that the same thing.
Yeah.
But so we're like a team, but we made sure that they had everything.
Yeah.
So we put ourselves aside.
So when I saw that email saying that, we've got kids, and I think someone mentioned it on one of our lives as well, like how do you have the time for each other when you're just exhausted and stuff? That's how it was for us when you think back. And it used to be, but we used to just switch off at about 7. They used to go to bed.
7:30, we used to put them to bed.
And we'd just have a time where we just sit and...
But we're exhausted, so it wasn't like we went out or anything, but we had our time.
Yeah.
We sat together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, the only thing is, you do get lost quite a lot in taking care of your kids. You do make them your priority, and I'm sure every other parent can agree with that. And you do lose your relationship. You don't focus on building that or growing that. I don't think
people used to think like they're missing out on anything when you just had that. That was normal. It is normal. But now, because you see everyone else doing what they're doing, you feel like you're missing out. Like even as couples as well, they'll be going out on dates and you're like sitting there thinking, shit, because of social media, you see that people posting stuff and you're like, I'm here with the kids. He doesn't have time for me. Or we never thought like that. I don't think there was ever a time when they were growing up that, we'd sit together, we'll enjoy that couple of hours before we go to bed, just sitting talking or watching something. We didn't go out, we didn't order anything in or do things like that. We just spent time every day. At a certain point, we'll just sit and either chat or just watch something. And it was nice. But when you look at it, you're like, shit, is that all we did? Like, because you see people now, but that was all. You question it, but then that was just normal. It was good. There was nothing wrong with that.
I do think social media has changed in the sense that I think people need to do things,
yeah.
But you remember, there's money is a factor.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford to. Certainly, even like that time, there's different people got different circumstances. We didn't have anyone or families or anyone who could babysit our children or support them. So it wasn't like we can ask anyone and say, hey, can you look after our children so us two can go out? We went out once in a while blue moon kind of thing, you know. When it happened, when we could get somebody or the other, like my sister sometimes used to come over, and so when she came, it helped kind of thing. But otherwise, it didn't happen often for us. It wasn't like, oh, every weekend we can go out. But then also, I don't think we worried too much, even though we done as much as we could for the kids. We didn't worry and weren't making as much then, but we didn't worry too much about spending money when we went out or catching cabs or spending on drinks. We probably drank all night and then ate before we came. Didn't sort of thing. Now we look at things and it's like, oh my gosh, do I really want to pay £5-6 for a drink? Is that actually worth it? Do I really want to pay? I mean, I haven't been to clubs for ages, so I don't know if it costs or whatever. But do I really want to pay 10, 20, whatever pounds we used to pay to go into this club?
Yeah.
And, you know, those kind of things. Yeah. So now you're just like going, that money could go towards something else. Yeah. So, and not only that, now if you go for a bite to eat or do something, even as a couple, a meal is something like about 80, 90 quid. You know, you have a meal with meal with a drink or a dessert. That's if you're just keeping still at the low level kind of thing. Otherwise, it's more depending on where you go.
Yeah.
So when you put all those factors on this day and age, there's many people. I'm just surprised that they can actually go out and do stuff. But like I said, I think there's couples out there. You know, if you've got family and people who support you, I think it's easier to go out and do things.
Yeah.
And when you don't, like in our circumstances, you have to find things to do basically at home kind of thing. But now, like I said, things are sort of different. Like, you know, as the kids have grown up.
But I know it's different. But even though we're on social media and we see couples and people doing things, it's not how we feel like, oh shit, we're missing out or anything like that. You know, and when I look back at when we did have time at home back then, you know, it was nice. But now people who are probably like going through the same thing, got children growing up, and we're not in that state, because I think we've done our bit, we've gone out and about, we've had those moments and we've had those times. Didn't do it often, like you said.
You've got something.
But there are going to be a lot of people who do feel like they're missing out. I've got children and feel like shit, you know, could be doing this with my partner, and it is because of social media, seeing everyone else.
But again, it's that thing of, you know, like some people feel that just because they're not going out or doing things, they don't, you know, the relationship.
Yeah.
A relationship doesn't just have to be, and this is what the point is. It's not, oh God, we haven't got people to look after our kids, or we've got to take care of our kids ourselves, or we haven't got the money to go out and do stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But that doesn't mean just because you're out and about doing things all the time, that doesn't mean that there's this, you know, like, spark there. That's what I was trying to say. Because in our parents' situation, I don't remember, I mean, unless they went to someone's wedding or someone's function or they're invited,
they didn't do none of that.
They didn't really go out anyway. But majority of the time, their time was spent, you know, first looking after their kids or going to work. Then it was to spend time with their siblings and other, you know, or their parents, or going to, you know, relatives' homes. It wasn't what me and you going to do.
Yeah.
Their relationship was never actually, you know, like our relationship. Did you know we only go to work and every single time, then we're around the kids. We never do anything together. We don't go anywhere. Doesn't have to be a restaurant, food, or anything.
It doesn't have to be now.
When was the last time me and you went for a walk in the park? That kind of thing. They never did that. Unless they would go to the park because they were taking the kids to the park.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it because they want to spend time. There was never their time. And even now, I just think that there's so many couples out there that, you know, they're going, our relationship, well, my wife doesn't make an effort, and she'll think that my husband doesn't make an effort. Well, I can understand. He goes to work and he's tired. I can understand from her point of view, you know, she could be going to work and she comes back tired, or, you know, we both have to look after the kids. Then we both have to, you know, we're exhausted, you know, food to make and stuff like that. When are we supposed to make that time? Do you know? And then on the weekend, when that comes, we spend time with the kids. But then there's couples out there who haven't got kids, but yet they still go to work, they come back and they're exhausted. They don't even make time for each other. They're just like going, yeah, we've done the movie thing, like you said, done the movie thing, done the clubbing thing, done all that vibe when we were younger, but not young anymore. So we just do what we got to do. I'll go out with my mates, you go out with your mates. Do what you got to makes you happy. I'll do what makes me happy. They haven't got that, that spark, or they're not willing to create that spark. They're just thinking, okay, this is what happens after you had kids or they've grown up.
I think because it gets uncomfortable. It's been a long time since we've actually sat with each other and had those, like, at that time. I think there's one thing watching movies and, or having a meal or something, but then there is that time, okay, just us two sitting here talking, building that. Like, if you've had children and stuff and your life's been revolved around them, try sitting together without having to, we're not watching a movie today, it's just us two, what we're going to talk about. Let's build us. What do each of us want? Like, we need to change things here. People don't do that. They just get frustrated and angry and, like, feel like the spark's not there no longer.
I think also it's like, well, I know everything about you.
Yeah.
I know what you like. I know what we're going to talk about. I mean, we say these conversations sometimes as well. When we're okay and we're energetic and we go, and things ain't happening in the background that distract us or make us feel low and drained. Because come on, that's part of life, isn't it? We all go through it. I'm not going to lie about it. So it could be your work, it could be your kids, it could be other situations. Things happen, and so you end up talking about the same thing. Oh my God, so and so said this, so and so did that. Oh my God, this is what they're thinking. That didn't work. Whatever it is. And you're going, well, we're having these conversations all the time. So what is there new? I already know what you're going to say. You already know what I'm going to say. I know what you feel. I know. So many people are going, well, we already know. Or if you hate your job, like when I used to be in the police force, hated that, you already knew how I was going to feel on my rest days. You already knew how I was going to feel before I was going to leave. You already knew how I felt about the job itself. So you're just going, I don't need to hear it.
Exactly. And the first thing you'd probably think about is that, you'd want time apart. You don't want to just sit there because you know each other so well and what the conversations are going to be like. You'd rather go out with a friend and have a beer or, have a long time, read or go and have a bath or whatever. But at those points, I think we did try things. We were doing different things. Like, do you remember, like, some of the questions that we used to write down, like things like that? I think couples don't do that, like make questions for each other. I know we didn't always do them, but we did. It was like coming up with ideas. Or, okay, what is it then? What can we do here? Is that people don't think, well, okay, they know the situation, but what can we do to change that? Kind of thing. And there are things you can talk about other than the things that are going on around the house or things that are bugging you, and there are things that you don't know about your partner that you can find out. And just even, it doesn't have to be serious. It could be you having a laugh and fun, things that you probably never thought about before. And we've done those kind of things as well, because we've been there.
And not only that, you find that you don't know so much about each other.
Yeah, exactly. You realise you are having a banter. It depends on what what kind of questions you are. You're having a banter, and you're letting your guards down a little, and realising that, okay, it's not all chaotic. You can change the situation if you're willing to. But
the other thing I was going to say was also what ends up happening is because people are going, we're at home, we haven't got the money to go out, or there's no other places that we can go or things that we can do with the prices or whatever it might be, or we haven't got babysitters, the ones that have got kids. Therefore, we can't spend time. And I think many times we did also feel something similar kind of thing. Like, oh my gosh, if we did have someone helping us out, we could have gone there. We get invited quite a lot to places. Or we could have gone there, we could have done that. We could have, we could have gone a night out, but we can't. We've, like, our daughters are all grown up and they don't live here, so it's only our son. And so, we have also felt like that. Because that also, guys, circumstances can be different for everyone. It's like now, you can have in your mind and headset that this is how everyone else's relationships are. This is how we expect our relationships to be. Like, people can have their children coming home nearly every weekend from university or wherever it is, and they want to come home, they bring their laundry sometimes or whatever, want home meals and stuff, or just because they miss their parents and they want to spend some time with with their family and stuff like that. So other people have that, and then once they're there, if they know that one child or the other, considering we have 3 kids who are away, that one child or the other would be coming every other week. So we spend some time with them one week, the following week we can go out and do something together. That's what our mindset was when our children were going to university. So we've got 3 who went. And when you have that mindset of going, look, this is how everyone else's is, because you know that everyone's kids come home.
Yeah.
Ours would be the same. So we made plans and everything going, okay, we didn't have that life then. We didn't have people who could look after our children then. But now we've got children who are basically, they are adults and they're capable of looking after themselves. So they can come and help out, babysit here and there. We could do things together at times.
Yeah.
But then also there's times when they could just stay at home, be with their brother, spend some quality time with him, whilst me and you can go out and, you know, grow stronger as a couple. So if we're happier, more energetic and feeling good and building that relationship, we can give more back to them with that energy. Look, we're happy, everything's great, this is the situation. That's what we assumed when they were going. But it didn't work in that way. So for the past 2 to 3 years, we actually did sort of beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
We were going, oh God, you know what? We found it unfair. We found it that, oh my God, is anyone else's kids like this? We found it that, oh my God, can you imagine, you know, we waited that long, all those years, that hoping that it's okay. We haven't got those people to help us, or things that we couldn't do during that period because we chose to have our children and we look after them. But now that they're grown up, we'll be able to rely or depend on them a little here and there, not all the time, but whenever they're available or they come down, we can still, you know, do the things that we haven't been able to do. And that didn't happen for us either. So we felt a bit gutted, we felt a bit wounded, we felt a bit that, oh my God, you know, why us? It always feels like it's us. So it was like carrying on, like feeling sorry for ourselves, feeling annoyed and angry that, you know, our circumstances that even now we haven't. And we had to sort of like come to terms with and accept that things are what they are. We can't change what they are doing or how they are. We can't turn around and go, oh gosh, if our kids were like other people's kids, or if our kids did this, our circumstance of life would be like this. We've just had to more or less go, it isn't what it is. And our kids aren't like other people's kids. So we just got to accept it. And now it's time to move on. What do we do with our life?
And that's things changing, changing instead of feeling sorry for yourself, or, you know, thinking like you said earlier, you know what the situation is going to be, you're going to sit with your partner and you know each other so well, then change that situation.
Because again, you were thinking that the girls will come over and, you know, every now and again, I can go with the girls, we can go for a spa, or we can go for a girly meal together, we can go for coffee, and then, you know, like me, I can spend some time with our son kind of thing, or, you know, even if I want to watch football, that you get to go out, you know, look for makeup, doing the thing, because the majority of the time it's like I'm coming with you. It's like, okay, you know what, I want to do this, I ain't got no one else, so it's like, okay, I'm going to drag him along, and vice versa, you'll watch and do things that I want to do, because we go, well, truthfully, it does sometimes feel like, well, we haven't got each other, anyone else, so let's build our relationship. You know, if people out there don't want to spend time with us, or are too busy, and, you know, their lives are what they are, and, you know, then, you know, what you have to do is you have to be grateful for what you have, and you work with what you got, and you make that better. And I think many people take that for granted. They just don't look at it and go in, you know what, I've got this person here who actually willingly wants to be with me, wants to do things with me, and we're more or less always going,
looking at what we don't have,
or what we wish we had, or we wish that certain circumstances, things were different, or people were different.
It's looking at what you don't have.
But you know, sorry, we didn't have the parents that we wanted, we didn't have the siblings that we wanted, we didn't have the friends that we wanted, and now we probably haven't got the kids that we wanted, or they're not like what we expected. Because even when we're growing up, seeing other people's households, families, or the way we've been brought up, you see it as this is how it's going to be, because this is how it has been. And then when it doesn't be like that for yourselves, it is come to terms with it and you're getting your head around it.
But I think we're the kind of people, like, even like when the kids do come, like the youngest came the other day, we didn't expect her to come. We want to, instead of thinking about us two, oh my God, we should be able to get out and do something now, she's here finally after all these months. We don't think of that. We just think, oh, we'll spend time with her. We always do that. We've always done that. We even put the work aside. We could be thinking, or they could be like, oh, Mum, I'm coming this weekend. How about you and Dad do something?
Basically, what can happen is if they're coming for about 3 or 4 days, you can just look at it and go in, okay, you know what? We'll spend a couple of days with you and spend that time and doing things that we can. And then we can spend a couple of days just us two kind of thing. But we don't.
Don't do that. We end up spending time
We
with
don't
them.
because we just. I think one thing is I know me. Due to our circumstances, how things have been, I got that mentality where I don't really rely and depend on people,
Yeah,
or I don't like to ask.
I know.
I don't like to ask for help, not
You
even
get-
from my kids.
You get mad with me if I say anything like, how many times are you going to learn, lady?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
honestly.
rather be that, you know what, if someone is genuinely wants to help you out or sees what you're going through or is thinking about you, has empathy, you know, knows your story,
Yeah.
they would say themselves that, hey, you know what, when was the last time you guys went out? When's the last time you two did something together?
Yeah.
Just the two of you. Because we do everything with our son.
Yeah.
Every
like
place.
even our 25th anniversary, again, we could have been really disappointed about it. Obviously, it
25th
was like,
anniversary.
you know,
Because
what can I say?
we have two to celebrate. We have the register wedding, which is in April, and we had the traditional wedding in July. And both times we celebrated it with our son. We took him with us.
Yeah.
Because we have no choice.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you do feel gutted because you know you got family members, you know you got people.
Yeah.
But each time I say, if they actually felt the same way as we have been there for them,
Yeah.
then they would more or less reach out themselves and go, hey, we know it's your 25th anniversary, we know it's your birthday, we know it's your
Exactly.
certain
And
celebration. Forget the gift, forget money, gift and all that. Can we, just be there? Number one, celebrate with you guys. If not that, if you like, or if you guys want, certainly with that anniversary, if there's something that you guys want to do together, my gift is just I'll come and take care of
Yeah.
our brother, our grandson, our nephew, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there any chance that, we can help you out and do that so you guys can do something because we know you haven't?
Yeah, you say that like when I was saying earlier, when you see like social media and couples probably do looking and think, shit, we don't get time together. People are going to restaurants with their partners or, their husbands, or they're having a movie night or whatever else. Not, they don't get to do that. And they do feel a bit envious or jealous. And they are waiting, kids get older and we can do these kind of things. I think that's the only time I've probably felt like that is when it was our 25th anniversary. I've seen so many videos, like different things of 25th, because obviously I was planning on doing certain things, and those kind of same things pop up on your story, don't they? And you've got people who've celebrated their 25th anniversary and how everyone's involved and stuff like that, and then that's where you do start feeling like a bit shitty,
Yeah.
How you were saying,
Because it's a big celebration, 25 years together. I mean, people struggle and people don't last.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's not easy. And certainly when, you've gone through so much together, it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Regardless of, there's no relationship out there that could turn around and say, my marriage has been perfect 24/7
Yeah.
for the past. You'll realise that if you even listen to people who are in their 80s and they've been married for 50 years, they just say that, yeah, of course, we've always had arguments or disagreements or whatever. But guess what? We've been there for each other. We've overcome them. We've grown. And the thing is, with us, so that's where the celebration. I mean, our kids probably go, well, we saw you argue, or we saw that you weren't happy, or whatever it might be. Like, there is no relationship that doesn't have that. And but it's like, oh God, it's for us. It's a big celebration because regardless of what we went through at the starting of our relationship and our marriage with everything, which wasn't easy. We've grown from it.
Yeah.
And we've kept on supporting, encouraging each other. And instead of not wanting to be together or, hating on each other, or we're more or less going, even though we work together and we do everything together, what more can we do together? Or the things that we would like to do together, we don't get the chance to do.
Yeah.
There's other things we would like to do.
Yeah.
We're still more or less like going, oh my God, the things that we can do.
Yeah.
When the chance comes, you know what we will be doing?
Yeah.
We're still there.
We are.
Whereas other people are going, God, do I really want to spend time with this
Yeah.
person flipping now?
You were saying
I
the other
need
day,
to be at work.
You were saying the other day, when V turns 18, our youngest turns 18,
Yeah.
the things that we can do and finally
It's-
be okay.
It's like the Modern Family, like when they were saying that he was going for a snip and he said the 5-year plan.
Yeah.
The 5-year plan was, Luke, once he becomes 18, that's it, we're done. You know what I mean? As in, we're free. There's people out there who go, holidays and things like that. The thing is, for us is, now we're looking at it in a different way.
We've really come to terms with it, haven't we? And it's made us a lot stronger than anything.
I'm looking at that.
We've only got each
Let's
other.
make the most, because the girls went and they were in our life. The girls went. We thought they would be coming every week or whenever, and we'll be spending quality time with them.
Yeah.
And like I said, also every now and again, they would say, hey, can we help you guys out?
Yeah.
And then we go, oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate this. You know, we've been there for them, so they're there for us. You know, and they're in their own home, so it's not like, oh, they were going to fork out anything out of their own pockets. Everything would have been sorted. But we get to do other things that we haven't been able to do together. Like I said, bring back this better energy, happier, stronger. And then that you spread and share with everyone. That's how families grow. But because our circumstances aren't like that, and our kids don't think like that, and then, you know, they don't help out.
Oh, they will think like that when they have children. They expect us to help out.
But
I'm hoping we're going to be on beaches and pretty...
So for me now, yeah, exactly.
Cruises by then, like, you know, I do
now,
our own.
My mentality is basically, you know what, I'm going to
Living
make
the
the
life we didn't
most.
have.
I'm going to make the most of this time with our son.
Yeah.
Because when he becomes 18, 17, 18, I don't know where he's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
How he's going to be.
That's taught us a
You
lot
know,
as well.
so
haven't we?
let me enjoy this.
that.
You know what? Let me take him. Fine.
He has to
And
come with
I
us.
know we don't know what tomorrow holds, and we don't know how long we all got. But the thing is, either you can be unhappy and going, it's unfair, it sucks, wish we had this, we hate them, this, that, and the other, or you could just go in, okay, these are the cards that have been dealt for me. This is what God wants for me. I'm going to make the most of this then.
Yeah.
I've got to look at it in another way that, you know what, I'm getting to spend time. That is the three of us doing stuff together.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, Casey comes now and again. The other two, not as much. But
Yeah.
Casey comes now and again. You're going, okay, whoever comes, it's coming because they want to be part of your life.
Yeah.
So you do those things. And then you're going, but when he's older or when he gets to that age where he's like, okay, mum, dad, I'm busy, I'm doing my thing. Well, that's when we'll do our stuff. Then we'll do those things that we've been planning, thinking, hoping for.
Yeah.
Then, and like you said, because our kids, one thing our kids always say, well, we didn't ask to be born.
I think a lot of the kids
yeah, I
these
think
days,
most, I don't know if it
it's
is.
just this
We didn't
generation.
ask to be born. You lot chose to have us. So, you know, people don't have to look after us. And that's what we're going to end up saying, the exact same thing when they have children. Well, you lot didn't ask us before you lot had kids, and they didn't ask to be born. We looked after our children ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't have anyone else doing it, and we did our job and did our... You lot are grown adults. Now, if we know that we were capable, then you guys are capable.
We'll have excuses and good excuses.
So, but now, guess what? You know, all that stuff that, you know, you lot could have just come and helped us out with. And I'm not being bad. Like I said, I don't like to depend and rely on people. I'm more or less like, if I would happily go, hey, if you need a hand or something, and I would do it. If now any of my kids were to contact me and say, we need your help, Dad, I'll be there regardless of how they are. But anything else now, it's just like, no, I want to create a life with my partner. I want that to be strong. I want that to be special because she's always had my back. She's always been there. I've always had her back. And I've seen people come and go, from parents, siblings, to friends, to kids, come and go and also think about themselves, their lives, what matters to them. They're there when it suits. We've been there no matter what. Many times we had no choice. Many times it is our choice. But now, even more, it's like being grateful.
Yeah.
That, hey, you know what? When that time comes, we'll do those things. I want to do those things.
Yeah.
And when that time comes, everyone else will be like, sorry, we're busy.
Hopefully we can still move about by then. I feel like that's the way I'm so unhealthy at the moment.
Yeah.
Barely walk. I was saying we're going to go for a walk today. I'm like, oh my God, I'm dreading that already.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's another thing I did say to Reed. Like, you know, at times I'm like thinking, go for a walk by myself. But yeah, I'll get some time to myself. I don't like staying in. I hate staying in. I can't go town or that kind of stuff. I mean, just to get a breather. I like to get out. Nature more than anything. Just feel peace. No hectic noise. But I am a one who doesn't... Certainly, you ask someone for help and support once. They give it. Fantastic, right? If they ain't got time and they ain't got, you know, they're too busy, too occupied, I don't ask. I just like going, don't bother.
But like I said, I feel like it's...
So a fair play to the people who have got people. It doesn't matter if it's friends, family, whatever it might be. If you got those kind of people that you can genuinely, truly, turn to, that you can trust, and you know you can depend on and rely on. Honestly, that's a gift to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Because trust me, there's people like Sri and I that besides each other, we haven't got that. So, why would we want to put anyone else first? Why would we want to keep focusing on, oh my God, what is everyone else doing? What do they need? We better please them and do that. No. We need to please each other because we realize that whatever you've gone through, whatever we experience, we had to go through it together.
Yeah.
We've seen our ups. We've celebrated our ups. We've been through our lows, and we've had to get ourselves through that, and we've had to improve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's I think that's what spark is really.
Yeah.
That feeling of, I love this person, I respect this person, I trust this person, and I want to do everything that I can possibly do with this person. Like I said, if we could, I know there's so many things that we would be doing, but we can't. But we gotta also understand that it is what it is. So it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not even like I'm saying our parents or kids or anyone else's fault. It's just the way life is for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
look where it's got us though. Like, I don't think anyone else could have. Honestly, I look at it and think shit, because I think there's been times where I have had people in my life I've spoken to, friends and stuff, and they're like, shit, could never have done what you've gone through. I need certain people in my life. I need my mom. I couldn't think, whoever it is.
Many people say we need both sides of the family. We need them there, regardless of if they make us feel shit.
I mean, we needed it.
No, I'm not saying we didn't need it. We needed them. Yeah,
we needed it. But obviously, I just feel like there's a reason for it. There's why things have happened the way they have. But the way we are together, it's weird to say. Like, some people will turn around, shit, man, no, you need to have time out from your partner. I do. Of course we do. But I do love doing a lot with everything with you. Everything we do. I do enjoy doing it with you. And I do think the first person I want to do this with, like, even if I have done things with the girls, I'm thinking, I would have enjoyed this so much more with your dad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're my daughters and stuff. Like, I would have. There's certain things that I've mentioned just recently.
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday, we wanted some time. We just thought we'd have some time to ourselves.
Yes, yesterday.
Just yesterday. So I want to watch the football, and I said, I'm going to watch a movie. I think it was New Aliens or something like that. And she's, you said, basically, I could watch it with you, but I know she ain't going to enjoy it. It's not her kind of a film. And we did have this discussion yesterday. Majority of the time, I try to pick movies and things or shows that you're going to watch, so that we can both enjoy it together, that I know you're going to enjoy it. Me, I tend to watch anything kind of thing. And basically, but I know that she wouldn't enjoy this. And then when we go to cinema, we end up watching something that you might not enjoy, and it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. I can feel her energy. Even if I'm looking at the screen, I can tell she's not enjoying this. She doesn't want to be here. And then I'm not enjoying it. And we've been to the movies many times where she hasn't felt like watching the movie, including Batman: The Dark Knight. This was on our anniversary. We both talk about this.
Believe we did that.
It was on our wedding anniversary, and she's like, we both chose, what is it that you like to do, and what is it that you? So we asked each other, and I said, for me, I would like to go and watch Batman: The Dark Knight. That was out then, and Street was like, I want to go out on a night out. So we decided to do both. So we were going to watch the movie first, then come back home. You was going to get changed. Then we're going to go out. So we went to watch it, and her mind, obviously, there. Number one, it wasn't her kind of movie. There's me, and I could just sense. Her mind was, oh, God, what am I going to wear? How long is it going to take me? Where I'm going to go out? Can't wait to dance. And so she sat there for about 2.5 hours or 2 hours, 45 minutes, whatever it is. And I could just feel her energy, her tension was like, I just want to get the F out of here. And there's me going, I don't even remember that much, just there going, gosh, why did I bring her? Why we here? Oh my God, this isn't all that. Everyone who's watched it will tell you how great it is. I had to watch it again to enjoy it. And I went, oh my God, this was amazing. But at that time, my mind was like, let's get out of here. Oh my God, why did I bring her? What, this, that, and the other. And then we went out and she was fine. All of a sudden, her energy was up. But at first, it took you time to even you got changed and you're like, such a crap film. Can't believe you took me. Ruined my... And I was like, oh boy. And I was like, I'm sure everyone's raving. I think we also went to the IMAX, like it was the massive screen, wasn't it? Even bigger. At that time, you didn't get what you had now.
Yeah.
So... that's how it was. So I said to her yesterday, no, I'm going to watch the movie myself. I will watch it with you. She's, it might be all right. Because again, it's like we could do something together. No, I'll watch it. And so you went, okay, I'm going to go and lie in the bathroom. Like, well, you didn't ask me. You're not going, what, you watching a movie? I went, okay. So I started watching it, and I'll tell you, my head was just like,
I want to go in
I
the line
don't
in the
want
bath
to
with
really watch this. But I didn't. So I went, okay, now she's just subtitled to herself. And I was hating it. And I was there like flicking through.
so glad I didn't watch
and I was
it.
like going, she wouldn't like this. I'm not liking this. Oh my God, why didn't I just go and lie in that bath? I haven't done that. And you see, this is how we are. It's basically going, we need some time to ourselves. And then even when we go somewhere, we're more or less going, oh God, it would have been better if she was here or he was. We do, don't we?
Yeah, and that's what it's, I think, because of everything we've been through, that's what it's created for us, that we're inseparable, and we are. We're like, I'd rather him like be there. Like I was talking about the cruise the other day and how much I enjoyed it. And I was like, I just wish you were there. Like you would have loved it. I would have loved to have seen your.
It affected me badly.
I would have loved to have seen your, because you get really childish. You would have been like, I know how you would have.
And
behaved.
again, it was something I really wanted to do. We wanted to go on this cruise. Street went on the cruise. I really, really wanted to go. It was going to be our first cruise together as well, and so we both were, invited. And I just thought, well, both of us can't go because again, we asked our daughters to see if they can, babysit. And take turns at least, so we could go on this like a 7-night cruise, I think, or 8 nights.
Casey was still here, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she was young though.
Yeah.
She was 17, I think.
She still
16,
could have,
17.
like, other people would have still gone. People
yeah,
with
other
their
people
kids, we
probably
wouldn't have done it.
But she had college.
Yeah.
So, but the other two, they couldn't even spare some time, kind of thing. And again, it just at that time I just went, okay, why don't you just go then? Enjoy yourself. At least one of us is going, which you went, and me here. It just made me feel like, again, I felt crappy. Number one, because you had gone by yourself, and I wanted to be with you, and not that I can't look after my kids and stuff like that, but my mindset became like, oh my God, I ain't got no one. Like anyone to depend and rely on. I actually felt so low and crap in the sense that, oh my God, when my wife isn't around, who I can rely and depend on, if she isn't here, or if anything was to happen, I've got no one. I haven't got anyone. And that's how I felt. And it just made me feel really depressed. So she's there having a good time. I'm at home feeling like, oh my gosh, my life is, would be crap if she wasn't here.
And the worst thing about it, I've gone with like 10 guys, you're probably like thinking, shit, man, anything could happen.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was just like with everything I was going through, I was just like feeling like really low and horrible.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't
more
that. It was more that everything else that, oh my God, did you know I can't turn to anyone for help and support. And if she wasn't in my life, truthfully, there is no one.
Yeah.
That what made me feel even more crap about myself.
Yeah.
That, oh my God. And not only that, I would love to have been there with her.
Yeah.
I would have had a great time.
And that's what I think of now.
And,
like, I know.
I miss her.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It's like we haven't had no time away from each other, and we keep on going, oh God, you know what? We need a break. Just need. And then it was the first time. First 4 or 5 days were fine. 3 or 4 days were fine. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just sank.
Yeah.
And I felt like crap.
I couldn't wait to come back to you, but also I was thinking
and plus we couldn't even communicate.
Everywhere I was going, I was like, shit, I could just imagine him now being this big baby, all the dialogues he would have said, or like, you really, really enjoyed it, the stops we had and stuff. But you remember me, I was terrified of going on my own first. I've never done anything like that without you, or done anything on my own. And for me, the night before, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not going. You had to. First of all, you
cried when I dropped you off.
First of all, you decided for me to go. You're like, why don't you just go? I was like, that didn't even cross my mind. On my own, go on my own. Are you for real? It took me a good 3-4 days to think, okay, I'll do this. And then I felt like I went into like my own like will, like shit the hell, I'm doing this on my own. First of all, I've not done that before. It's really scary. I ain't gonna know anyone.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I'm like, shit, without him, like, what? And the night before I was like, I'm not doing this, I'm not going. And you had it. Well, I was lying in bed that night. That night we were in bed when I was like, I can't do this. I feel anxious. I feel really sick. I felt nervous.
And then you cried, like I said, when I dropped you off.
And you were like, you can't change your mind. You can't, how can you do that? Like, it's all done. It's all settled. If you said it a week beforehand or whatever else, not. And when I was crying my eyes out.
But
like a little baby, like, this is my husband, I'm leaving him.
And again, it was like big learning curve for both of us.
I think that needed to happen.
You
It
learned that
really-
you can do things by yourself and you don't have to worry as much.
Yeah.
But I also, there was so much of me that I realised that I was so insecure about myself. And still, after all these years, so that this was about
2 years
about
ago now,
3 years.
November? It's been 2 years.
Three? Is it 3? No, it was their first year, wasn't
been
it?
3 years?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Shit,
Because
man.
that was their first year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 3 years ago it happened.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I realised even after 3 years that I felt so insecure. I felt so, oh my gosh, you know what? If she's not here or she, was to leave me or whatever, I don't know what I would do. And I didn't know how to deal with it in a positive way.
Even though
Or feel secure that, you know what, I've got nothing to worry about.
Even though I left
Everything's
crying my eyes
fantastic.
out, I
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
want to go. Do you know
But
what
I
I mean?
realised that there was, and again, it was like, I realised at that time, childhood traumas that I had that made me feel that way. And then not only that, the traumas and triggers of not having people to rely and depend on.
Yeah.
Going, oh my God, well, this is the person that is my friend. It's like losing your best mate, isn't it?
It's like,
Is it like, when you...
when you're talking about it, I picture, did I say penguins are like together,
Yeah.
they can't separate, or when they choose their partner, is it a pebble they give them or something?
something like that.
And they just
Yeah.
can't live without them.
And then there's something about the seahorses as well that
Is
they have to
there? Yeah.
But it is that I end up learning a lot about myself from that bad experience. It was a bad experience, not from Sweet's point of view, like I said, but for mine, because it made me feel so much insecurity, and I felt so, oh my God, all these thoughts, and I didn't even know.
It was
Because we never had that opportunity or
be
place
apart.
of being apart.
and then you realise that there's
We've
nobody
always
else.
been around. So when you went, it just went, oh shit.
It's thinking of, you've got children, but you feel like you're alone. You don't have anyone, because that even now, like you're saying, all the things we're saying we want to do, you can't rely and depend on anyone, can
Yeah.
you? You know.
And I had to. It's crazy considering we've been together for such a long time. I felt like after that moment is when I ended up maturing in our relationship even more. Because it was like I had to dig deep in to go, why am I feeling like this for? She's always around with me. I always trust her. She's always shown that she loves and supports and cares about me. Why am I feeling insecure? Why am I feeling like, I'm going to lose her? Why am I feeling like, alone and, feeling the way that I am? Obviously, the aloneness was about everyone else that, I had this opportunity to do something and I didn't have no one that I could turn to. But then at the same time, the insecurity was childhood traumas of, oh God, things that I've experienced and gone through. Oh my God, now finally that moment where we're not together and doing things separately, damn, this has never happened before. It's like having like two best mates and like always gone through school together, and then one of them, their parents turn around and go, we're moving to a different place, and you're like going, I'm not going to see them again. No, you can always call each other, and you're going, you feel like, and that's what I realised. It's not just a marriage. It's that thing, it's this friendship, this bond, and I don't know, how to explain, because I don't always see other people be willing to openly say that. That, there's guys out there, but they don't say, I'm not insecure. I don't care, or whatever. And like I said, but now I know for a fact that if Sweet was to go to a cruise or anywhere by herself now, I know I'm not the same person.
You needed to learn that. You didn't know that that's what you've felt for many years. And I feel like that's got to do with past trauma as well.
That's what
I know you said past trauma, but like in the sense that it doesn't have to do with like the insecurities of what you saw in your parents, but also feeling alone at home because you were the only son and you didn't really have anyone to turn to or to talk to. And me being like your best friend, your wife, your partner,
besides my gran, that's all the only person that I always say
yeah,
that
you had
her, but
she was there. But
she was
could
there.
you really sit
No,
and
I
open
couldn't,
up and
like,
talk?
there's
As a
so many
guy, I
things I
feel
would've-
like there's so many things
you would have
that
kept it in.
Yeah.
I would have kept. There's so many things I would have kept hidden.
Yeah.
In,
So feeling alone.
Yeah. And you can't express, and then obviously it builds, because you don't know why you're feeling it.
Yeah, and then not understanding that after I returned, like, when I come back and how you were, I was like.
And not only that, it's relationships all about trust. Not that you broke my trust in any way, but I've had relationships, not with other people either, but relationships like with parents and other siblings, friends, and like even our kids. That there's the trust side of that kind of thing. That oh my God, like you said, rely, depend. Can I trust these people? To be there when I need them. And and other things that you've gone through. So I think those have an impact. Like, oh my God, what if these people that's supposed to love me unconditionally and be there for me no matter what, I have been there, you know, and I would be there. Then when they're not turning up or not caring or not showing that I matter, then this person who I chose myself because they, you know, in my life, you know, parents, I was born in that family, siblings, I was born in that family, you know, and the kids, you brought them into the world. Your partner is the person that you choose, kind of thing. So if these people that you expect, no matter what this person, you know, could probably make me feel and do the same. I might not matter. If I don't matter to them, why am I going to matter to her?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's that thing, considering we've always been together in our circumstances since we're young, you do sometimes feel insecure and going, well, she does find someone better. Because there's people out there better than me, I know this. As in general, like, you can put yourself down, but there's wonderful people around the world, you know what I mean? And you just like going, okay, you know what, we do everything together, but now I'm not there. What if there's someone better? And you know what, or life is different?
Another woman probably wouldn't be able to put up with what was going on back then, what did happen, or like all the insecurities and all that. But because I don't understand, because I understand, and I've been there myself, not the same way you have, but I have been, you know, the trust thing. I just don't have it with anybody. I don't have that trust, because if your parents can just disown you, people who your blood can just let you go like that. Like, I find it really difficult making friends, or like I get on with people, but having anyone too close to me, I find that very hard. I do not let anyone in my world at all. You know that. And
I'm the same now. We more or less got this like guarded boundary circle bubble around us that, you know what, people have to work really hard to show us that we can trust them. It's not just about trust. It's about love. It's about trust. It's about respect.
Yeah.
You know what? Anyone can say, I love you. You know, you see in relationships now, we see in these shows, I love you. You know, but then they don't respect the person, they don't trust the person, and that's where it is. Love alone. Well, you can say those things. It's a package deal.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, if people can go, yeah, I love you. Yeah, your parents love you. Your kids love you. Your friends love you. Yeah. Your siblings can love you, but do they respect you?
Yeah.
You know, if they don't respect you and they think you're a piece of shit, or they don't care and they're not going to be there, yeah, they might still love you, but what does that matter?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's people out there that, you know, you can look up to. You don't love them, but you can respect them, and you know that, you know what, this person is of value.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, I respect this. I look up to this person. And, you know, I'm happy to be in their presence, and I know I can talk to them, trust them. But there's no love. Yeah. So I think that, you know, people don't see that it does matter.
Of course it does matter.
You know?
So for me, I'm thinking, if it was anyone else, I probably wouldn't have understood.
No.
But with me, I've been there, and I've felt those same kind of things you have. Abandoned, the trust, and not relying, like, you know what I mean? You're the only person I feel like I can rely on and talk to, I think, because the similar things we have dealt with and gone through. And
I think what that moment did, regardless, and how you dealt with everything, I ended up becoming... I respect you even more. So that's what ended up happening. It built my respect that, hey, I've gone through all this crap, and the person that probably should have been the most annoyed or upset with me is the one who's still there with me. Whereas everyone else is there going, oh, like, you know, but this is the person who's like going, had every genuine reason, but they went, what? I understand where you come from. I know why you're feeling the way you are.
I know who you are, and
I know who you are.
I know who you are as a person,
and that's the thing. Many times people don't look at it that, do I genuinely know this person? If I know this person, it doesn't matter what's been said or certain circumstances can happen. Yeah, but do you know that person?
Yeah.
If you know that person, then it doesn't matter. You know this person.
Yeah.
You know that what other people might say about them, or this one bad day or one bad situation doesn't change that person fully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everyone could go through depression or go through a hard time or go through whatever. Because they will say, you never know what someone else is going through. You don't know.
Yeah.
And what's worse is when you do know what somebody else is going through and you're still going, well, why are you like that for?
Yeah.
But I'm going through this and?
Yeah.
But, you know, so there's many people that even look at it going, well, I didn't know what they were going through. So, you know, if I knew, I wouldn't have behaved or thought like this. But there's times when people actually already know what you're going through. but they go, it's still unacceptable.
Yeah, because
We don't care.
I'm glad it happened, because you needed to realize there was something, some kind of insecurity, or something you've been through. We needed that blip, because we wouldn't have moved on forward from where we were stuck. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because it has been on and off. I'm not saying it has happened throughout. It has happened throughout our life, but very here or there. But that big thing that had happened, which you needed to understand,
Yeah.
because it did. It kind of really got you to a point where you like you said, you were really low. And you can't move forward until you have these. You wouldn't even know you have these underlying issues.
It is that thing where people usually say that even when things that shouldn't happen or bad things happen, it can still become a positive if you learn and grow from it. If you don't learn and grow from it, then
it's like now we're just saying in everything, it's learning and growing from it. We've learned and grown from everything, all the situations we've been in, and people like look at, like, for example, the first thing I said, people looking at other people's social medias and thinking, shit, we don't have time together. Learning what can we do from it.
Yeah.
What different can we do?
It's like Rocky. You got to keep fighting. Like he says, doesn't matter how much, the world or the universe knocks you down. You get back up and go one more round, kind of thing.
We've done different things in that sense. And you've also said about, like, waiting for our child because we just don't have any support or anything.
No.
Waiting for him to... We've learned to understand, like, come on, stop again. We do things with him. We do more, in fact, with him.
I mean, he could be different. He might, hit 18 and go and... You know what, Mum and Dad, I am coming over every weekend, or I do want to spend time, on these holidays that you lot want to go by yourselves. Can I just come with you because I love your lot's company and trust me, and I love spending time with you. So we can't put him in the same bubble as the other kids. So we can't go, once he goes, he'll probably do his own thing just like everyone else. And we're going to do... He might turn around and go, I ain't going anywhere.
I think he does worry. He does worry because he has seen how the girls have gone and they don't come back. And he looks at me to say, well, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. He might look at it and going... And that it would be an impact because of how he sees them.
He's had a trust issue as well.
He's grown... And, with the girls not coming and doing their own thing... He's gonna, like sometimes people say that whatever the parents do affects the kids and their emotions and how they deal with things or see things or their future relation. He's gonna have that because his sisters don't come. They do their own things.
The same thing.
Whenever he contacts them, can I come over? Can I do this? Or can you lot come over? Can we go somewhere? There are always excuses. There's always, well, we can't. We haven't got time. This, that, and the other. And he's now learned that I can't
he gets
rely...
that from you, disappointment, like there's no point asking.
And he puts his phone, it doesn't even bother. And many times then they text and call and he's like, I don't even want to reply.
We have to tell him to reply.
And he starts looking at it. I don't depend and I don't rely.
It's something you learn, something you've gone through, like he's gone through. I feel like there is going to be things with him in the future as well, having that trust. So hold on, like we've been, whether it is letting anyone into his life because it's just been us or finding that difficult. Or
and we've got to be able to talk to him and say, look, no, everyone's the same.
And then say that's it. It's just changing it. And now with what happened with us,
we want to talk, aren't we? I was going to say I don't trust and depend on it, but I think the older, it's a different circumstance for us. Like I was going to say, saying to him that he's going to have trust and I can't depend and rely. Their actions come from us, kind of thing. But the thing is, what I mean is, when you get older at our age. Your friend circle gets small anyway. You realise the people that genuinely aren't there, for you or say what, they're not your people. Your circle can be massive, but you want peace. You want, like I said, people you can respect, trust, love, rely on, depend on. If you haven't got that, they're just acquaintances. I'm not saying we wouldn't be civil, but you talk to them when you talk to them, but there's nothing else really. And that's fine. But those close-knit friends, there won't be many. And the thing is, for him, he's still young. So he still needs to make those friends, learn for himself, not just see it as, well, Mum and Dad don't have a big group of friends, or my sisters weren't there, so I can't trust anyone. No, he'll probably realise that other people will be different. But then, and it's our job to say to him, no, it's fine, you need to explore and make friends and see for yourself. But what I'm saying is that he might turn 18 and we might be going, he'd probably go, I'm staying. And guys, you know what? I love spending your time. I want to do that. And then we've got to, again, adjust and adapt.
I completely understand. That's the difference. That's how we already are thinking. We're thinking about him like that because you got to have an open mind where we didn't know before.
I mean, you ain't going to turn around and say, sorry, we're finally going to do things ourselves. You can't.
No.
Go and do things with your own friends. Find a girlfriend, whatever. I would say, cool, great. You know what? The only difference is going to be is we're going to have two different rooms. You want to chill by the poolside and do your own thing, you do it. If you got a friend that can want to come, fair enough.
It's
You know, so
learning
you
and
got
adjusting and
It's that-
having that open mind, which we didn't have before. We just thought like typically they're gonna come home, we're gonna have help, we're gonna do like every other parent. Like you see Asian kids come home, like you said, even if they're washing their clothes or just come to get food.
it's not
Blah,
just
blah, blah.
Asian kids. Why
Well,
everyone?
yeah, they do. They just
everyone's
do.
same.
But for obviously for him, it might be the case that he just doesn't even want to. And doing those, it's that change that I'm trying to say. Like you were saying about the situation that happened 3 years ago, with him, yeah. His is probably going to be like he hasn't gone through none of that stuff, but he whatever he's had here learned from us, like, you know, it's just been me and mom and dad. That's what I'm saying, not trusting, but like slowly like making those friends or letting people in because he hasn't had that, you know, whether it is new, like, you know how we've had people come and go in our family relationships or whatever, come and go, whether it's been a family member and that you just realize shit, they've come for a reason and they're gone again, you know, on and off kind of thing. For he's seen that,
Yeah.
and he's going to be different. Well, hold on, where were you? Do I really need you in my life? Or it will take him a long while, and he has us to talk to. We do talk to him. So when you were a child, obviously you were saying you only had your gran there.
You couldn't really talk to anyone. I wouldn't have told her about how I'm feeling and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was hungry and stuff, yeah, okay.
And he doesn't do that anyway. He doesn't open up.
No,
but
he doesn't.
you look at it and thinking, well, he's got us here. He knows he's got us here.
See, and with relationships, one thing I would tell him is it's that you've got to grow.
Yeah.
You got to change. You got to adapt.
Accept.
There's many people, even the shows that we watched recently, someone went, I ain't changing for no one.
Oh,
Remember?
gosh, yeah.
I'm not changing for no one.
just
I know
can't
who
trust
I am. I'm not changing for no one. No. You know what? That is, you can see the issue already. And there's many men, mainly, and women, I wouldn't say just men, this day and age anyway, men and women turn around and go, I know who I am. I ain't changing for no one. I know what I want. And that's how I want it. If that person ain't going to be that, but I'm not changing.
Yeah.
You know, no. The thing is, to keep that spark alive, which is the initial conversation that we have, you've got to keep on. Spark doesn't mean, oh my gosh, you know what, you got to be out, you got to be going on holiday every week, you've got to be dancing, partying, flipping pottery, whatever, all those things. Not everyone can do that.
I think if anyone can sit down with a partner and have a giggle once a week, or just sit down and have that time with each other, you don't talk about all the nonsense outside, but just have a giggle. That is a spark. That's what you would have done when you were together years ago. You'd want time
sitting
together
and gossiping about brothers, sisters,
you know,
friends,
when you first get together,
colleagues.
when you first get together with your partner, it is, you want to be with them, you want to get to know them. And do you really think you know your partner inside out? Just because you've been married with them for 25 years or 10 years or whatever it is, do you really know them? Can you still make them laugh? Can you, sit there? Wouldn't you want that where you can just sit there and have a banter with them?
Or it's that fear of asking that question.
Where are we? Yeah,
where are we?
Yeah.
People don't want to know, because you know what the fear is. If I turn around, if I
There's
was to
where
say
are
to you,
we? But there's got to be the
our
fun.
relationship, where are we? And you turn around and go, well, you're not doing this and you're not doing that. I would have expected you to be like this and be like that. And you're going, well, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, you've got to have those. But
so it's that many times people don't want to hear.
don't know where
or
it's going
know
to go. You can start
that you're going to end up point out all the things that I don't do or that you wish I did, and then again, regardless of what people think. I know, like I talked about me insecurity. I think everyone's insecure.
Yeah.
Women and men, like even the woman, like the female, she doesn't want to go like, how are things? Are you happy with me? I mean, I turn around and go, well, I love how you do this, or or that, but it could be just like I love the food that you cook. I love that we get to watch TV together. But did you know we haven't got a great sex life? It seems like you don't want to explore or do other things. And she might turn around and go, well, that's not me. We've never been like that. But I would have loved that.
Afraid of what? Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? It could be. So it's not about being secure in your relationship, because you could be basically married for 5 years, 10 years. You know each other. You slept with each other. Do you know what I mean? But some people can't even have those conversations about sex with each other. Oh, I don't want to do that. We'd never done that then. We never spoke. Many people wouldn't speak about those things at the start of the relationship because they're going, this feels awkward and I don't know this person well enough to be able to open up and talk about these things. So when they get further in a relationship, they're going, okay, maybe now I can.
Yeah.
Because we're known each other for such a long time. Do you know what? We do this certain thing in the bedroom all the time. Can we do something else? And this is what I've got in mind, or what, and this could be fun. And the other person might turn around and go, what the F is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And that becomes like I don't want to bring this up just in case I get blown off
Yeah.
Or what's she going to think of me? I mean, it could be the other way. I'm not just saying a man. No, a woman could be like, hey, guys, dude, you're just boring as F. You know what I mean? I've been married with you, this, that, and the other. Why don't you do something different? And then all of a sudden the guy gets even more insecure going, what the heck is wrong with her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
She's not
so,
happy with me, or like.
exactly. You know, she's not happy with me. So is she like, you know, thinking, would you rather be with someone else?
Yeah.
And I don't know what else, but I don't want to look in there because even that feels insecure. There's guys out there who can't even get lingerie for their like partners and stuff. But I know I'm getting slightly off the top, but what I mean is that many times people don't have any of this conversation because truthfully, every couple is insecure in some capacity, you know, about themselves. It's not just about, oh my God, is she going to cheat on me?
Yeah.
There's other insecurities that they can't open up and talk about. So what they do is they're just going, it is what it is. Let's not, you know, rattle this sort of cage kind of thing. You know, we're happy. Yes, it could be better, but then again, it could be worse. It's just like going to that job. You know, you go to this job that you don't really like, but it pays your bills enough. You do enough work. You wish that it was something else, but you're just going, it's bet the devil you know kind of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of going, but how can I make this more enjoyable? How can I make this more fun?
Yeah.
How can we make this more better? And people don't do that.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've got to be grateful for because of all our journey and everything that we've
We talk
gone.
about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yes,
And maybe that's what it's done for us. It has made us different to other couples that I know of. We can sit here. I mean, this morning, he was making me laugh because I walked in and do I really want to say?
Oh,
I'm not
God.
going to say what, but like exactly what it was. But this guy...
all I can say
like,
is she went to an appointment and that person did a cracking job.
Yeah.
It's going to take
And
2
it's
seconds
like-
to like get there.
And it's like those kind of conversations I don't see... I don't, do couples have? Like you can actually...
I
go into-
sometimes have to tell her, you don't have to tell me everything. Can you stop?
But isn't it good
I don't
though?
want to know.
Isn't it good though that we can speak about everything?
Oh,
Isn't
God.
it? And it's not that, including sex. You can tell me, I can tell you exactly what I want, and sometimes you're like, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well that's what she likes, and that's what I like.
I'm like, yeah, I'm up for this.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
No, but
what I'm
yeah.
saying is, it's got us. Maybe that's what we haven't never looked at, like being grateful. We're like, oh, we don't have this, that, the other, but do we have that relationship? We have that relationship, and are we grateful for it? We should be freaking grateful for it. We are at the best we've ever been, and this is again beginning at the beginning. I was saying, oh, spark thing. We had a spark. Obviously, I knew I wanted to be with you, and you know there was that romance and whatever. But then everything just got hectic, especially with the way things were for us. What is it like for other people? I want to know.
Yeah.
How long does the spark last for? Because I'm looking at my daughter and I'm like, oh, bless them. I love them
Yeah.
to bits. And I'm like their relationship is just goals. And I think, okay, well, she comes home and she's there like, oh, mom, this, that. And I thought that's just, and she's like, I know it's normal, isn't it? I was like, yeah, it's bloody normal.
It is.
But how long does it last? Like,
No,
like,
I think it can last as long as
it
you
can.
want it to
But
last.
I feel like with us, our spark has just gotten better and better
Yeah.
and since the girls have moved out because we've had that more time and
because
learned
we've had
so-
that more time.
and
Because
we've had these blips. We don't have the whole world in our life.
I think the
It
other
has
thing
just
is
left us
it
to
is
us
that when people have got parents, siblings, friends, and kids,
that distract
you know
them.
what ends up happening, regardless of not in a negative way of saying it's a distraction. The thing is, when you're there, you got one daughter telling you about some study, or one telling you about a boyfriend, or one telling you about what her future plans are. You're there to support, listen, encourage, whatever it might be. You're fulfilling that role. Some people have that with their parents. They have parents that they look after, so they go there and they want to, take them to the doctors or sit there, keep them company, have a cup of tea, talk about next door, whatever, And with the siblings as well, friends, we more or less, everyone is thinking, I've got to be there for that person or that person or that person. And then you're going to have whatever discussions and stuff. Only times that majority of the people talk about their partner outside to other people is if it's a negative thing. She did this, blah, 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 or he did this, blah, 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 blah. It becomes a topic, things that you discuss with your friends or family. It's never that. Not many people turn around and go, oh, you know what? Honestly, we just want to make things even more better. We went out today and we had a great time, but we're just thinking, where else can we go? That's what, you don't see many people do that. People are more or less going to other people's houses and things because they're thinking about everyone else. They don't think about each other. You know, we've got work, we've got all this, we've got all these other people.
That's the last thing they think.
That's the last thing, because you, like, again, take it for granted. That person's there no matter what.
Yeah.
And because we're always there 24/7, we sleep in the same room, blah, 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 we need a break. And whereas what ends up happening with us is, because we haven't got those conversations with all those other people, running to all those other people to do all that, we've got to be there for each other.
Yeah, but when we did have that, that's what we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's exactly how it would be. You come back, and when you are spending time, you're not really spending time together. You're talking about the gossip that you just
found out this from so-and-so, and now I'm telling you what I've just heard.
Really?
And
oh my God.
Yeah,
when it
you're
should
talking
be.
about that.
Now, with us, it's like, okay, so we
everything-
discuss other things. We don't have those kind of things
Yep.
to talk about. So obviously there is times when there is things going on, and it does take up our
It takes a
energy and
lot of time, and even then you feel
energy and
drained.
stuff. But then when we are having time, I feel like it's just grown us together as a couple so much more.
And we're hoping that this energy spark relationship keeps on. I think that the idea is, like you would want to build everything else. I think for me and you has been more or less, how can we build this that we had? We chose each other. We didn't choose all the other relationships. How can we grow? How can we make this more fun? We don't know how long this life journey is going to last. So how can we make it, we're not thinking that, oh my God, you know what, if we had this or had that, things could have been different. Yeah, we've done that. And we're not thinking, oh God, tomorrow our kids or our grandkids or whoever might need us or depend on us. We're more or less going, yeah, if they need us desperately, we'll be there. But we got to think of what is it that we're going to... Because they have their own relationships. I want my kids to have their relationships and work on that. I don't want them running now. There was a time I would have expected them to come here or there, but not be 24/7 in my house or be around us or expect us to be in their life. I would expect them to grow in their relationships, with their partner, because it matters. That's why it's a partner. You're in this journey for life together. Partner. Everyone else, they have their own partners. Your parents have their partners, siblings have their partners, your friends have their partners, kids are going to have their partners. They all got to live their own lives. So the person that you choose in this journey with, make sure that you enjoy this journey with them, that you're willing to grow and make each other laugh, make each other feel good.
Like you say, you don't know what tomorrow holds, and it's easy. It's like we've been through so much already. We have learned to adjust and think. We need to just think about what we want together as a couple and grow even more than where we are, because I know we can be even better, and just enjoy what we do have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause...
And then you allow the people that, like I said, love you, trust you, respect you into your life, who are genuinely there for you.
Yeah.
And then you appreciate that. And you say, yeah, you know what, you're part of my community, you're part of my family, you're part of my life.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be relatives.
Yeah.
It's just actual people who think and feel the same way.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But yeah, spark has to be with every relationship. Everything in life is something that you got to keep on working on. It's just like hitting the gym. Just because you go to the gym for about a year, then all of a sudden you don't go, you know what's going to end up happening. Yeah. So it's just like that is how a relationship is. And this is with a business. You're not going to put the work in the business. Business sooner or later is going to collapse. Yeah. That's the thing with a relationship. Most of the time, people take it for granted. They don't want to work on it. And then they wonder, why are things the way they are? It's not just having a talking buddy that you talk to them about everything you hear from everyone else to pass time with, or just someone you talk to about what we're going to do for the kids. It's about communicating and making things fun and enjoyable with each other, regardless of what you got and what you don't have. That making the most of it. Yeah. I'm going to let us finish this off, because it seems like she's going to probably go into some emotional thing.
I'm not going to get into no emotional. I think,
Yeah, we need to just make our spark even more brighter, though.
Yeah.
So I think, even though, because there's been recent adjustment thoughts, things
there's
that we've
always going to be
gone,
adjustments, and
we've had to change things again. So we just got to work on even more improvements.
Yeah. I mean, people looking at us and think, wow, and ask us all these messages. We still have all the, regardless of not having the noise, we still have our own things that are going on, and they can push you backwards, and then you got to rethink things and work harder at, it is what it is, isn't it? But
there you go. So covered a fair few things. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. Do let us know, if you guys can relate or anything else that you guys can add below. Talk about your relationships if you can, and anything that you guys think that would be nice to talk about and discuss on our next podcast. Take care. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.